This pathology causes 1.9 million deaths per year, and the World Health Organization even declares that this is going to be the first reason of death by 2030 if we doesn't stop this new pandemic. So in this video, we are going to show you the 5 signs that you are diabetic, because this health problem is diabetes. So 5 signs that you are diabetic, discover it here exclusively on Nutrition TV. Good morning guys, I hope you're fine. I'm Josie-K, your tropical nutrition expert with 12 years of experiences. I will humbly encourage you to get the collection of the books in order to go deeper in all those thematics, as far as we know that prevention is always the best way to avoid diseases. So today we want to come back to diabetes because, as I told, it's one of the reasons, it's part of the top 5 cause of death in the world, and much more in our continent, especially that a lot of people are not always aware, and that usually people discover they are diabetic when it's a little bit late. So when the consequences, when the side effects of diabetes are already installed, and that it's not possible to go back. So I want to precise that we have more than 14 types and undertypes of diabetes, and it was deeply explained in this book that I want to really recommend you to have, because you're going to find inside all the information you have to know about the signs, about the symptoms, and also how to manage properly your eating habits with tropical food and tropical plants. You will find it in Amazon and to our representative. So the number 1 sign that you're diabetic is that you are peeing a lot. If you find yourself peeing 3, 4, 5 times per day, this should really catch your attention, especially if you don't have the feeling that you drink much than before. So the reason why you pee a lot, because of the high amount of sugar in your blood, your body is trying hard to bring it out, to excrete the excess of sugar. And that's why the kidneys are going to fight as hell to bring it out through the urine. So you are urinating a lot because your body, and especially your kidney, are trying to bring out the excess of sugar in your blood. So peeing too much is one of the signs that shows that you might be diabetic. So if you see that a parent or somebody near of you is peeing a lot, then it should catch your attention. So this should catch much more your attention if, for example, after peeing in the nature, few minutes later, you see that where you pee is surrounded with ants. So the ants usually are running after some sugar. So this is a sign that should definitely catch your attention and drive you immediately to check out your blood sugar. And then the question which is coming in my mind, brothers and sisters, my dear experts, when was the last time you checked your blood sugar? Because something you really have to keep in mind when it comes to diabetes is that the signs are not so obvious. Like, for example, when you have fever and that you feel completely bad. So it's difficult to feel bad when your blood sugar is starting to become high if you don't check your blood sugar. And for those who check it recently, what was your glycemia the last time you checked it? Please share the information with us in the comments. So before you move forward, my dear, I really want to encourage you to book already, or to put already in your planner, that in the few days coming, you are really gonna go and check up your blood sugar, especially if in your family there are already some diabetic people, like your parents or grandparents, and especially if you are peeing a lot, or especially also if you are overweight and over 35. Because the earlier you are diagnosed diabetic or with hyperglycemia, the higher are the chances for you to be able to manage and to control the disease to avoid complications. So this is the first sign that shows that you are diabetic. The second sign which shows that you are diabetic is that you feel extremely thirsty. You are able to drink 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 liters of water per day. And especially if you're not an athlete, especially if you're not doing a hard or strong workout. So how is it that drinking too much can be a sign that you are diabetic? First of all, because as we saw previously, when you are diabetic, your body is fighting to bring out the excess of sugar through urine and through the kidneys. And because your body is trying to excrete a lot of sugar through the urine, then you lose a lot of water, then you find yourself dehydrated, and that's why, because the human body has certain automatism, automatically you're going to feel very thirsty, and that's why you can drink high amount of water without sweating or without being an athlete. So if you find yourself drinking too much, question yourself and please go and check your glycemia. The third sign that you might be diabetic is because you are feeling extremely tired. You want to sleep all the time. You feel extremely weak. You can't stand up for a long time. In fact, you just discover that your body level energy is very low comparing to before. And there is a reason behind this. Because at the moment that you are diabetic, your body is overworking. And this is really a word I would like to encourage you to write down in the comment. So your body is overworking in order to bring out the excess of sugar. The kidneys are overworking. Your whole body is overworking to assimilate the water you're drinking, to bring out the excess of sugar. And that's why, because your body is overworking, you constantly have this feeling of tiredness. So this is the number 3 signs that you might be diabetic, and this should really catch your attention if you discover that since few weeks, a few months, regardless the fact that you took coffee, regardless the fact that you took some vitamins in order to enhance your energy, there are no change. So go and check your blood sugar if you are actually facing this situation. The fourth sign which shows that you are diabetic is that you are constantly feeling hungry. You eat now and few minutes later you still feel hungry, and you spend your whole day eating and eating and eating, and curiously you're not putting on weight. So this can be a sign that you're diabetic because, as we saw earlier, your body is overworking, and because there is a dysfunctioning in your production of insulin, the insulin, which is this hormone which helps to take the energy from your food and make some storage, and this storage helps you feel fuller for a long time. So because your body is not able to produce enough, or even not producing any insulin, that's why you constantly need to eat, because the energy is not going through the cells, and this is what is creating the extreme hunger. So those signs that we are sharing has much more to do with the diabetes too, not really with the others, even if they can have some shared signs. I really want to precise this. And the fifth sign that you might be diabetic is just that you find out that you have harder and harder time to heal from cuts. You just discover that the wounds are taking much more time to get healed. Because the blood sugar is high, it weakens your immune system, and it slows down your ability to heal faster or normally from the cut or from the wound. And that's also why one of the other signs which shows to certain of our parents that they were diabetic was, for example, when they find themselves with a wound which is there since 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, 2 years, and which is not healing. So usually for our parents or grandparents which has this situation, when going to hospital, we were always discovering that those people who have longer wounds which is not healing are people who were diabetic. And that's also why for the extreme cases of diabetic people who wasn't diagnosed at time, one of the consequences is that they are just going to lose the certain part of their body. So for example, they might lose the ability of the hand or of the foot, and sometimes you hear that some diabetic people get their arm or their finger or their leg cut because of the excess sugar, because of the wound which couldn't heal, and because of the fact that the excess of sugar was not enabling anymore the proper blood circulation. And if the blood circulation is not effective, you have some tissues who just start dying progressively. You have the cells who just start dying progressively, and that's why at the end, to avoid a death, some doctors find themselves obliged to cut the part of the body, which can be the arm, which can be the leg, which can be even the whole hand, in order to save the life of the diabetic person who is already at the complicated stage. And that's why we really want to encourage you through this video to take it seriously, the fact that you have to check out regularly your blood sugar, and much more if you have parents or members in your family who are diabetic. I want to encourage you to share this video massively around you, just to get people being aware and being cautious, and also in order for them to prevent. And if you are watching this video and that you are diabetic, or that you have parents or friends who are also diabetic, I really want to encourage you to get this incredible book. It's one of the biggest of our collection. And the reason is just because there is so much to learn, there is so much to master, there is so much details to be aware when you are diabetic, or even when you just want to prevent. So please get the book, and get also the other collection of book where you also have information about hypertension, how to lose weight, menopause, and so on. So I hope that this content was able to make you understand better the diseases in very few points. Thank you for your attention, and let us see next time for another incredible content. It was Josie-K, your tropical nutrition expert with 12 years of experiences. Thank you again for your attention, and see you soon for another incredible content. Bye.